Welcome to the Bookshelf Challenge, where I challenge myself to read all of the books on my bookshelf. Just got done reading another book. So this is The Surgeon by a writer going by the name Jane Doe. It was a very short book, as you can see, 123 pages. Very, very easy reading. The story on this would have you believe that it's a woman who's traveling to Egypt to become a surgeon. You know, she's living in 19th century England. So that's what I thought this book was going to be about, a woman surgeon living back in those times when the old women weren't expected to do anything. But no, this is mostly about her trying to find her long-lost father in Egypt. And like I said, very easy writing. Everything happens very fast in this book. You know, she loses her father. He's an archaeologist. He gets ambushed and apparently dragged out into the desert to die. And then the killers come back 10 years later, and they're asking questions, you know, pretending to be interested in her. She puts two to two together. She talks to this guy's manservant, who's this guy that was enslaved by the villain of the book. And he's like, no, your father's still alive. So they just hop over on a ship to go to Egypt to find him. Along the way, she meets this old friend of hers who has a leg injury. She does some surgeon work then. You know, the leg is infected, so she, opens up the wound to get the pus out, sterilizes it, the whole 9 yards. She has the guy eating moldy bread, which I thought was interesting because I knew that penicillin was made from mold, but like back in, the 1850s or 60s, where I think this book takes place, did people just eat moldy bread when they got sick with an infection or something? Because that's how she does. He eats the moldy bread, which... well, you'll learn something new every day. It didn't seem like. Anyway, I digress. So like I said, this book, everything flies by. They go to the desert. They find the father. They bring him back. They deal with the villain on the boat. And then they get married, and then she goes off to learn how to be a surgeon. Like I said, this is very easy reading. I got it done in a day. It was okay. There were a lot of problems. I can nitpick this book. Like there's this scene. Well, there's two scenes. One scene where she's using an alias. She's like, my name is Anne Smith, and I'm going to Egypt to learn to be a surgeon. And then later in the book, she meets an actual woman named Anne Smith, who's going to Egypt to learn how to be a surgeon. Like what was that? This was, I believe, a self-published novel that the writer put out. It says that she's married to a surgeon, and she went to Egypt. She got the idea for this book. She wrote it, forgot about it 15 years later, and then she decides to publish it. And, like I said, it was okay. But what I really want to talk about is how this book has inspired me to do the same thing. I've been thinking about doing self-publishing, and if, I do the AI books, that doesn't count. That's just me commissioning people to write a story for me. Now I'm thinking I should do something like this. I should write a small little novel, get it published through, one of these self-publishing companies, and then put it out there. What do you think? You think that's a good idea? Like I said, it'll just be something simple like this book, and we'll see how that turns out. Okay, let's just get to me reading the next book on my bookshelf. And I think we'll go with this one next.